Effective goal setting is definitely one of the key cornerstones of our journeys towards professional and personal success. And at the same time, it's only part of the success equation. No matter how well defined, appealing, and motivating a goal is, we still have to act, follow through, and achieve it. In this video, I'm going to show you how. Stay tuned as we explore 5 steps that will help you turning your goals into results. Welcome to the channel. My name is Sabine Renner. I'm an organizational psychologist, leadership and personal development coach and trainer, and researcher in the field of positive psychology. On this channel, you'll find proven and actionable tips, tools, and strategies to empower aspiring leaders to take the lead and succeed at work and beyond. In one of my recent videos, I talked about the importance of goal setting in the context of organizations, how individual goals should be aligned with those of the organization, and what managers can actually do to define goals in such a way that it increases the likelihood of achievement. But defining effective goals is only the starting point. The real work only starts afterwards. So what can we do? Either for ourselves when it comes down to working towards our own self-defined goals, or as a manager who wants to help our team members accomplish their goals. Here's a 5-step plan to achieve your goals at work and in life. Step number 1, prioritize to focus. Our days only have 24 hours, unfortunately. A year has 365 days. How do we allocate our most precious resources, our time, energy, and attention in such a way that it allows us to move forward and achieve what truly matters to us? If we don't focus on the right priorities, nothing that matters really gets done. Now, you might say, but wait a minute, Sabine, isn't that why we set goals in the first place, to give us direction and to have a focus? And absolutely, yes. Goals give us a target to shoot for. Without goals, we are at a much higher risk of taking detour after detour after detour and of being very busy without accomplishing anything meaningful. But at the same time, if we have too many goals to shoot for, we really can put us in a state of overwhelm and significantly dilute our efforts, so that in the end we are not making any noticeable progress at all, which can then be super discouraging and cause us to miss important opportunities. So once you have set your list of goals, take a moment to look at it and to take an honest inventory. How much time, energy, and attention can you realistically devote to make any meaningful contribution towards the achievement of a particular goal? Are the resources sufficient considering the time frame you have defined for the goal? If the answer is no, then it might be wise to carefully and consciously decide to either change the time frame or to reprioritize your goals. Which one of these goals, if achieved, would really move the needle for your professional career and development? And if resources are limited, which realistically they typically are, rather focus on 1 or 2 goals and move forward with focus, commitment, and dedication. Now, does it mean that you have to abandon all other goals? No, absolutely not. You would just allow yourself to follow up on these at a later time. Now, in case the goals you're working on have been assigned to you, for example by your manager, it is still worth doing this check. And if you realize that the goals are requiring much more resources than what is available, bring it to the table and ask the person in charge to define priorities so that you can focus on what really matters most to the team, to the department, and/or the organization. Step number 2, do WOOP. Once you have your list of goals clearly laid out, take a moment to envision 2 things. Firstly, what are the benefits of achieving this goal? Why does it matter? Ideally, not only to the organization you work for, but also to you. What would be in it for you? The more benefits you see, the more likely you will be all in. And then, secondly, envision potential obstacles that you might face along the way. These obstacles might be twofold. There might be internal obstacles, obstacles that are within you. What could keep you from getting the job done and from achieving this goal? Are there any counterproductive behaviors or thought patterns? This is really an inward-focused analysis, considering factors that are within you and that you can control. By focusing on both aspects, the benefits as well as the potential internal obstacles, we do what scientist and psychology professor Gabriele Ettringen calls mental contrasting. We positively engage with the future potential and benefits of achieving our goals, and at the same time we envision obstacles and get prepared so that we can actually better handle these. And how do we do it? By thinking of if-then plans, or as Professor Gollwitzer calls them, implementation intentions. An implementation intention means that we create a plan. If obstacle ABC happens, then I will do XYZ. And as we do so, we get mentally ready to better cope with the obstacle. if we manage to not only see the benefits as well as the obstacle, but also get ready by creating an if-then plan, we significantly increase our chances of success, as joint studies conducted by both Oetting and Gollwitzer have proven. And they even created an easy-to-follow-through process for us, which is called WOOP. The 4 letters stand for the 4 phases which we have just gone through. The W stands for the wish or our goal. What is it that we want to achieve? The first O stands for outcome. What are the positive benefits of us achieving this goal? The second O stands for obstacle. What could be in the way? Whereby the scientist explicitly says and reminds us that these obstacles need to be obstacles that we can control. And then P stands for plan. What is it that we are going to do when the obstacle shows up? Now, there might also be external obstacles. Here, the question is then really whether we will be able to find a way around these. If not, then it might be a good time to ask whether achieving the goal is really realistic. And if not, to either reframe or abandon the goal so that we can focus our efforts and resources on the right things. Step number 3. Back goals up with habits and systems. Now, whether we like it or not, there's only one way to turn a goal into reality, and that is, we have to act accordingly. But how do we get it done? We can try out a few things and move forward on a rather random basis, or we consciously and carefully create and craft systems, habits, and routines that will help us achieve what we aim for in a structured way. In his highly recommendable book, Atomic Habits, author and habit expert James Clear wrote that we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And I think that this is such an important and powerful reminder that highlights how important it is to think about feasible pathways that will help us in directing and possibly even changing our behavior in such a way that it facilitates the achievement of our goals. Now, there are a couple of factors that we should keep in mind when it comes to creating habits and systems. Stay tuned for next week's video in which we will do a deep dive into the concept of habit and system setting. Step 4. Review your progress regularly. Now, once you've established the systems, routines, and habits that will help you achieve your goals, and you started to act accordingly, it makes sense to do some check-ins from time to time, to take a step back from the busyness of executing on your goals and to have a look at the intermediate results. Are you progressing as expectedly? You may want to ask yourself, what is working well? What can I learn from the process so far for this goal, but also for future projects and goals? What is not going so well? What challenges do I face? How could I overcome them? And how could I change my strategy and/or system accordingly? What can I learn from potential failures? And is there any way that I could sharpen the saw even a bit more and become even more productive and effective? And what could I do to make this process even easier to follow through? And how could I make it much more fun and engaging or more rewarding? Step number 5. Adapt accordingly. And then, last but not least, take your findings from step 4 and put them into practice again and again until you achieve the goals you desire. No matter how bumpy your road to success might be initially and how many detours you'll have to take, by moving forward courageously and adapting your approach consciously, you will, over time, not only get to where you want to go, but also learn insightful lessons about your personal success formula along the way. Curious to learn more, proven actionable tips, tools, and strategies that will help you and your team succeed? Well then, hit the subscribe button to stay tuned and check out this video in which I share 7 strategies on how to set goals effectively. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.